Hey guys, it's your boy JT, and yes, it is that time of the year again. It is Premier League prediction time. And if you know me, you know I don't get these things wrong. Just take a look at my Euro 2020 prediction video and you'll see that I was nigh on spot on with the results that I picked. But before I gas myself up too much, let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into this prediction video. Then we're going to start off from bottom to top, and we're going to start with the team that's going to finish in 20th place. Well, first of all, hang on a sec. I don't know who's made this tier list, but I don't know what the hell Swansea are doing in there, because they ain't even in the Premier League. So they, first of all, they're not even going to, they're going nowhere, pal. You're going straight back down where you were. But down in 20th, in the rock bottom place, I am going to go with Burnley. Now, they've had a great 5-year spell in the Premier League, but ever since that 7th place finish, it's gone from worse to worse at Burnley. And I'm afraid to say it, I do apologise, Burnley fans, but for me, you're finishing down in 20th position. Now, finishing just ahead of them is another team who's had a good few years spell in the Premier League, but I have not been convinced with them when I have seen them. And with the departure of Benjamino White, I am afraid to say, Brighton fans, Seagull fans, that your boys are going down in 19th. And to finish off the relegation places, it has to be the Canaries. I'm sorry, but Norwich are the ultimate yo-yo team. I've never seen anything like it. They're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. I mean, while Leeds were stuck in the Championship, they literally went up and down 2 or 3 times. We kept seeing them one year, they're gone the next. And the same thing's going to happen again. They haven't spent well enough. They haven't recruited well enough. They have lost their star man in Emi Buendia. And with the only real standout names of Todd Cantwell and Timu Pukki, I don't see it happening for them again this year. For me, they're still going to end up getting relegated. Just above them, just surviving by the skin of their own teeth, it is going to be Southampton, the Saints. Again, I thought they were really dark horses last year under Hassan Hutel, and the way they started this season off, it really appeared that way. However, ever since that Liverpool result, they have crumbled like a deck of cards, and it has been absolutely woeful for them. And after the departure of Danny Ings over to Aston Villa as well, I'm not sure that this is going to be another great season for them. I could be proved wrong, but for me, I do think they are just going to survive by the skin of their teeth. Shortly led by Watford Football Club, a newly promoted side yet again. However, I do still think that they do have enough experience in their ranks with the likes of Troy Deeney, with the likes of Ben Foster, with the likes of Danny Rose, slide Ismail Assar into the mix as well. And I do think that they will just have enough experience and quality to just about survive. So I do have them finishing in 16th position. And to finish off that 15th place, I do have Crystal Palace, the Eagles. I think it's going to be another nothing season for them. I don't think they're really going to be in too much trouble. I think they'll probably be floundering about the mid-table position around the 11th to 10th spot for most of the season. Probably secure that 40 points and then just fall away a bit as the end of the season goes on and falter to around the 15th position. Over in 14th, I have Wolverhampton Wanderers. It is beautiful to see that Jimenez is back in action. Hopefully the head injury doesn't recur. Hopefully he is able to get back into the stride of things. However, with the departure of Nuno Espirito Santo, it seems like their fairy tale is slowly coming to an end and they're faltering back down into a mid-table side. And I do think they will finish 14th. Just above them, I do have a side that you're probably surprised to see this high up the table. It is, of course, Newcastle United, the Magpies. And yes, I know it's only 13th position, but Newcastle are a side that have been sat down in the relegation dogfight for the past 2 or 3 years under Steve Bruce. They always somehow manage to claw their way up the table come the end half of the season. I know Newcastle fans, you aren't happy with Steve Bruce. Of course, obviously, and rightly so, not happy with Mike Ashley. But hey, I don't think you do too bad this season. I do think you will have a good run at it. What do you guys think? What do you Newcastle fans think down below? Do you have any confidence at all going into this season? In 12th, we have the final of the newly promoted sides, and that is, of course, Brentford Football Club, and they are a side which I think will do very, very well this season. I'm very excited to see how the likes of Ivan Toney will do in the Premier League, how the likes of Pinnock will adapt, and how the likes of Pontus Jansson, the main man, I'm a very big fan of him. I'm very happy to see him finally get his crack in the big time in the Premier League. The Moneyball system that they've deployed with very, very minimal budget, and an owner who basically tested his tactics out with another side that he owns in Italy, I believe, and he basically saw what worked, and he used those tactics, used those similar style of players, brought them over to Brentford, and he's made them into a real top outfit. And I do like the way they're moving. They're a very forward-thinking club, and I do think out of all the newly promoted sides, they will have the most joy in the league this year. And in 11th position, I'm sorry Hammers, I know you finished in Europe last year without the ability of signing Messi, Lingardinho, and the fact that you are going to have to play more games from being in the Europa League, and the fact that usually when these kind of sides do manage to claw themselves into the Europa League, they do end up faltering the next year. I mean, look at Wolves when they made it in there. Look at when Burnley made it in there. There's a lot of examples over the case of time. Even Fulham, if you go back far enough. And I do think that they will just falter to the mid-table position, which a lot of people thought they would have even been lucky to get last year. I'm sorry, Hammers, but I don't see you getting much higher than 11th. Over in 10th, we have everyone's flavour of the season, everyone's favourites to be a dark horse this campaign. It is Aston Villa Football Club. And look, we saw how heavily reliant they were on Jack Grealish last year. The Greal deal, that when they did lose him, they did falter as the time went on, dropping down to, of course, that 10th place position. And yes, they signed Leon Bailey, who I am very excited to see in the Premier League. I'm also a very big fan of Emi Buendia, and I'm excited to see how he'll get along again. A great creator, a great dribbler, but I don't think that Dean Smith is good enough to pioneer them all the way up to a European charge like a lot of people think. So for me, I think they will get top half of the table, but it would just be 10th. Finishing in 9th place, just ahead of them, for me, it is going to be Tottenham Hotspur. And unless if they get their act together real soon, which I don't see happening, for me, that club is in an absolute meltdown from top to bottom. From the owners to the fans to the players on the pitch. It is an absolute carnage over there right now. And yes, they may get a couple of early results to paper over the cracks, but for me, they haven't done enough internally to fix the internal bleeding that they're going through. And I just think they're an absolute state, especially with this whole Harry Kane situation going on. If they keep him, maybe his goals alone could push them up to top 6, but even then, I do think it will be a stretch. And for me, I think they'll finish in 9th position. Just above them, I am going to have Everton. Although their recruitment hasn't impressed me at all, I do think with the acquisition of Rafa Benitez that he is just going to be enough to keep them in that 8th position. That 8th to 9th to 7th place position that they've been in, because he is a top manager. He knows how to get results, and no matter what's going on, I do think that he is a winner, and he is just going to have enough to keep them around that position. Over in 7th place, I have Leicester City, and I know you all probably got your pitchforks out right now. Oh, they just beat Man City in the Charity Shield final. Oh, they won the FA Cup last year. I don't care. Look, they've got so close to getting top 4 2 years in a row, and I'm afraid you don't do that and fail both times and keep going like that. It's got to be hard to motivate them. They've got a lot of hungry opposition around them that are trying to build something, and although they'll have a good run in Europe this year, I don't think that they will have enough to get themselves into that top 6 position again. I think they've had a great few years, and I think 7th place is still decent for them. Hey, if they can have a good run in Europe, finish 7th, maybe win another cup competition again, who knows what could happen with them. But I don't see them getting top 6 this year round. Instead, I see Arsenal, the Gooners, finishing in 6th position. I see them finally securing themselves Europa League football again. I do like what Arteta's doing, although last year, yes, it was very toxic at times, it was very bad, and I questioned his managerial ability multiple times. However, I do think Pepe is going to come good. I do think Bukayo Saka is an absolutely liquid player with untoward level of potential. I think Martinelli is one of the brightest youngsters on the planet. I think Aubameyang is soon to hit his stride. And of course, with the addition of Ben White, who for me is one of the best defenders on the planet, I think they will just snag that 6th place. In 5th place, you may call me biased, you may agree with me, I don't know. Get yourself in the comment section down below with whatever you want to say. But it is my boys, it is Leeds United. And yes, I know we haven't had a great transfer window. I know we've only signed Junior Firpo. We don't have the money to invest enough more into the squad. But our squad's young in the right areas. You've got Rafinha, who's only going to develop. You've got Jack Harrison, who's only going to develop. You've got Stuart Dallas and Mateus Klitsch, who are more used to the Premier League now. You've got Rodrigo, who's played a whole year under Bielsa. So in the second year, you're going to see a better Rodrigo, the same way you saw with Bamford. It took him a year to get used to Bielsa's tactics. Once he did, he started to develop more and more. We've got Junior Firpo now, who himself has said that he's learned more in these past 2 weeks than he did in the past 2 years at Barcelona. And overall, I just have so much faith in the squad going from top to bottom, from owners and most importantly the manager down to the playing staff. I have so much trust in Bielsa that I really do have positive expectations for this season, and I do think that we will be able to push into Europe. I do think it is a couple of years too early to be talking about top 4. However, I do think top 6 is definitely in the cards, and I think 5th and 6th will definitely be Arsenal and Leeds in whichever order it happens. I'm just going to back my boys to finish in 5th. Over in 4th, I have Liverpool Football Club. Again, I don't think they have done enough in the transfer window to push on. I think you need to strengthen when you're at your best. Yes, they are going to have Virgil van Dijk coming back. Yes, they are going to have Ibrahim Konate also bolstering up that back line. But with Gini Wijnaldum going, with Henderson's contract not being sorted out, again, I don't think that club is in the best state from the owners going down. I think FSG really had their heart on getting their way into that European Super League. And now that it hasn't happened, they really haven't done anything to appease the fans. And the fact that the fans are forgiving them so easily, I am shocked by, to be honest. And they could prove me wrong. However, I just think that although they're up for a good season, possibly a better season than last year, the other 3 teams have strengthened so much that I think they will have more than enough to finish above Liverpool. And coming in 3rd, I think they will chase the top 2 dogs down until the last few weeks of the season, and it is Manchester United. I'm really impressed with the transfer window they've made. Another team who were part of the proposed European Super League plans, only this time their owners are splashing the cash to appease the fans, to try and get them to forget about it. With the signings of Varane and Jadon Sancho especially, Varane is the man at the back that is going to bolster up that defense. He is the man that they've been missing back there. And of course, Jadon Sancho is the icing on the cake, the one world-class player that they have been missing in that wide position. I just don't think that their midfield is necessarily strong enough to push all the way, to make it all the way there. And it's definitely not as strong as the next 2 sides. And this is a controversial one. It's the first year in probably the past 5 seasons that I haven't predicted them to win the league. And it's Manchester City. It is Manchester City. I have them finishing in 2nd place. To be honest, I probably prefer them to win it over Chelsea. However, I do just think that Chelsea are going to be too strong this year with the acquisition of Romelu Lukaku up top, bolstering up the lines. With the fact that Thomas Tuchel has gotten playing some great stuff over the past 6 months. They have just won the Super Cup. And I'm just more excited at the project of Chelsea than I am with the project of Manchester City. However, I will add a little caveat to this. If Harry Kane does sign for Manchester City, then there is no chance in hell Chelsea are winning the league. Manchester City will romp the league. However, without the acquisition of Harry Kane, I think they are going to be lacking that number 9. And with Chelsea securing Romelu Lukaku, with Kai Havertz having another year to develop into the league, with Werner having a full guy to knock the ball off to, with Lukaku now, with Mason Mount developing another year as well, I do think that Chelsea will just about nab the league. But I do think it will be very, very close between these three and very close between the four in general. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Let me know down in the comments section down below. I'm very intrigued to hear what you have to say. But this is my final prediction table. Take a look at this. Watch it. Drink it in. Do not forget it. Burn it in your mind, because this is how the table is going to look come full. Anyway, guys, I do thank you very much for watching. As always, it is an absolute pleasure. But I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.